There's an opening that came at Nova Pioneer, which was for a curriculum designer for the early years. And I'm like, this is perfect. And I look at the qualifications. So one of my mentors said, what's the worst that can happen? It's either they'll tell you no or ignore your email, but you'd rather have tried. So I sent my application and I got the job. And the role was for children, designing the curriculum lesson by lesson for kids both here and in South Africa. And so you're reaching about 500 plus kids, which was more than the 20 something I was reaching. And just that excitement of knowing, I'm always behind the scenes, and I don't mind being behind the scenes, because at the end of it, it's hearing the feedback from parents and the kids of how excited, and then local schools, my kid wants to come to school every day, the curriculum is really good. And most parents didn't know there was a curriculum designer, actually until after COVID. So a bit of back history about Ubongo. So we are an edutainment company. So what that means is it's a mixture of education and entertainment. So when we bring the content to children, instead of having a blackboard where the kids have to just focus and get bored, it's cartoon characters. As you can see, this is Akili and me, and they teach the kids these different concepts. So it's linked to the curriculum. It was started in Tanzania. One of the co-founders, her name is Nisha Ligon, when she was doing her master's, realized there's a gap in, first of all, content that African kids can relate with, and content that also covers the curriculum. And that gap in, as you mentioned, if you know, the literacy and numeracy levels in this country are very, very low. And now seeing how can we bridge that gap in a way that we can reach all children. So Ubongo started in Tanzania. And so that's where the main offices are located. We currently have branches here. That's where I'm working here. We also have in Nigeria, Malawi, South Africa. We're opening in Ethiopia, though our content is on very many TV stations across Africa. Akili and me and the other Ubongo Kids characters are able to teach these kids different aspects, ranging from math to science to English to, yes, and our content, like in Kenya, is in English and Kiswahili. And those, it's English, Kiswahili, Luo, and Kikuyu. And those content, like especially for Akili and me, which is the 3 to 6, you'd find she starts teaching them English through the content that she's teaching. So for example, if she'll be like, my name is Akili, what is your name? So the child has to learn how to repeat that. And why you see that even the tone that she uses. For Ubongo Kids, we go to, for Ubongo as an organization, we go to the field with the children. We don't sit behind it, now because you're the one who studied it, we're the ones who know as adults. And that's the issue we normally have with creating children's stuff. We create for the children instead of with the children. So for Ubongo, we create with the children. When we go to the field, so you'd observe the 3, 4, 5-year-olds and see how do these interact. Do they talk really fast? Do they talk really slow? So that as Akili is also speaking, it's something the kids can relate with. Akili is teaching herself to introduce, she's learning how to introduce herself. It's a national curriculum objective. They're also going to cover that through it. Akili is learning numbers, slowly by slowly. It's also going to be covered that. So Akili moves from like also the known to unknown. So that a child who's basically has no foundation in English, no foundation in numeracy, no foundation, Akili starts with them to make sure she grows with them through the process. There's a question I always get a lot, and people ask me, why children? And I keep telling people my goal on this earth was kids. If you remove that away from me, you've removed the essence of my existence. And especially kids who don't have access to the content, maybe a lot of wealth of resources that kids who have a lot of money can access to. And so we call that the underserved children, and that's where my focus and love for kids grew. Because once you've worked in different industries, these ones have, these ones can access this, these ones can't. So how can I do that work? And one thing is I started a literacy organization for kids in underserved communities called Watoto Wasome. And that organization looks for homes or children's centers that don't have access to resources, are really, really low in terms of their literacy levels. And we work with them now from basic hands-on assessments and then I'll do those hands-on activities. And why that also ties really well with my work at Ubongo is because Ubongo's content, because we target the younger age, the Ubongo content also works with that. And because we're literacy, Ubongo has very, very good literacy content, and a lot of the focus, especially we have this season 4, which I really encourage a lot of parents, teachers, if you're working with kids, please follow us. get our content, which is called Words and Sounds with Akili. And it teaches kids the basic foundations of literacy, which we call pre-literacy, learning how to sound out words, learning rhymes, learning, segmenting and blending of words. Segmenting is just breaking it into different parts. Blending is bringing it together. And my organization also uses Akili and me because it helps tie in the work, and because it's a very engaging content, we're able to use that content also to teach the kids and help improve their literacy levels. And so for the thing with kids is, we know that if we don't capture the first 7 years of a child's life, which is when the brain is mostly developing, you end up finding we lose them for the rest of their lives.